Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So glad that we can participate in this 75-minute debate here this morning and basically tick the box in terms of a thorough, comprehensive evaluation and policy debate on what is going to commit Saskatchewan people to decades of financial commitment as we move forward with the need to transition our energy and electricity sector over the coming years. I mean, I think it's absolutely ridiculous and preposterous to think that somehow having a 75-minute debate on a matter of such crucial significance to every single resident of this province is a disrespectful and dismissive undertaking by a government that feels that they have a degree of entitlement here that they don't need to justify or explain and commit themselves to a pathway here that has already been presented by a member from Regina University, has not received the adequate scrutiny and policy debate necessary before we can ever move forward. I've been sitting here listening on this side to the members opposite talk and wax poetic about all of the incredible benefits that nuclear energy can provide. And yeah, happy to have that conversation, but it doesn't replace the rigor and consideration that we need to be taking here on what is a massive, massive undertaking and transformational project for our electricity sector. You know, the motion that's been presented here talks about how SMRs can complement renewable energy by providing stable, baseload, clean energy. Well, you know, that's certainly something that is very near and dear to my heart. It matters to the people of this province. We know that SaskPower is under the gun to transition off of coal. The government opposite here, Mr. Deputy Speaker, had run out the clock and ragged the puck on coming up with a plan. And so really what this amounts to is a Hail Mary pass. You know, you under the cover of darkness, we're debating back and forth on, and wringing their hands basically on what to do. And so now at the last minute, they've come out with a plan that has not been technologically proven, that has serious concerns around the amount that it's going to cost. And, let's be frank, Mr. Deputy Speaker. We all know that these are best case estimates and that these projects run over and end up costing far more than whatever that dollar figure is on the baseline. So this is like roses and sunshine here. And I don't think that it is fair to the public that our government is committing and setting down a pathway towards a project that is going to commit us long-term to significant cost commitments and undertakings that have really not had that upfront evaluation to seriously, and I mean seriously, consider whether this is the right path to be going down. I ask the members opposite, through you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, where is the special committee that would give us the time, the information, the access to experts to really, truly understand not just the merits of this proposal, but the options, the other options that are available to us. This is such a loaded motion. This motion talks about the need to provide stable baseload clean energy. Well, I think that in of itself we could spend days talking about here in terms of what is meant by that term, what has been sort of the past technological basis for baseload power, what electricity grids are going to look like down the road in terms of how that can be supplied. There are some buried assumptions in this motion that need further scrutiny through a special committee to fully understand and assess whether or not this is the right solution for the right problem. Because, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I do not have the confidence that this government either understands, appreciates, or has considered what the issue is that they are trying to provide a solve for. And small modular reactors are a solution to a problem that hasn't been quantified in this motion. It's not possible for us to pass or agree to a motion on such little substance, such little basis here. And I don't think it'll come as any surprise, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that without any of that basis for the motion, I simply can't be committing myself as a representative for the people of my constituents to a motion that is just incredibly presumptuous and the underpinnings for which are seriously lacking. Another point I want to make about this motion is that it talks about Saskatchewan's growing economy and population, and I just find that it's nice to think that we have a growing population and economy, but as we've seen in the past weeks, looking at the negative growth in our economic sectors, that I think there's some pretty basic critical elements that this government has failed on delivering in terms of growing our economy, growing our population. We have the slowest population growth in the country, and the fundamentals for growing that population and our economy have been broken. We're missing labor policies that will attract people to our province. We've already talked about people leaving in droves, whether that's international students, whether that's citizens between 18 and 25. There's some fundamental issues here about where we're going as a province and the failures of this government. When we talk about technologies, or not just technologies, but a solution here, where is the value added? Modular construction means fabrication is happening somewhere else. So where is the benefit? Here. How are we maximizing it? And how does that compare to other options? We don't know the answer to those questions because this government isn't providing us with any of that information. Things are happening under the cloak of darkness. We need transparency. We need to have open conversations. We need to have special committees of the whole that are allowing us to ask the crucial questions about what is going to be in the best interests of the people of Saskatchewan. And I'll maybe just say finally, in my few remaining seconds here, that this is a conversation I'm very open to. I welcome it. As someone who has worked in the industry, who has designed nuclear reactors, who has worked in uranium mining, who's overseen governance for the sector, I absolutely think that these are crucial questions we need to be asking and get to the bottom of these matters before we commit ourselves to a path of recklessness and overspending.